Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Ben the Human Plays Vagrus the Riven Realms. I've done something incredibly drastic. So last episode, I think I left you guys, we were in Amphalat actually, and I was heading over to Devon. We did that, I dropped off the stuff. There wasn't anything like super important that happened, and then I kind of got like this weird idea where I was like, what if we decided to set up our outpost here in the Bryn Mawr region? And I got really fixated on that idea, so I went to Torzag's shelter and dropped off a bunch of stuff. And this is how I set up the stuff you need to get to set up your outpost. You need a lot. So let's jump into the city here, because we have to visit Elani's like contact anyway. If we look at our cargo, so you need 120 bone, 6 stacks, you need 50 hide. The 2 of the obsidian and the obsidian blades are like a mission I'm taking to Devon, so don't worry about that. Let's put that over here. Don't even think about that. So and then you need 10 obsidian, 8 bronze. Basically, I gathered that from like Devon, Torzag's shelter, and the Mines of Plenty. Just like all over the place. The real big issue is you need 3,000 supplies, and you need like 50 labor total between your slave labor force and your workforce. So we had to boost the workforce above 50. And then you need to leave 16 fighters, 8 scouts, 2 mounts, and like a chunk of slaves or workers behind. So, that's how you set that up. Basically what I did is I bought all the supplies in Torzag's shelter, grabbed every single person I could from the Manzio here, did the same thing in the Crimson Gate, and then, you know, bought supplies in the Mines of Plenty and Salem to keep the amount of supplies that you have up while you're feeding all of the people that you have. So, we're set up pretty well to build the outpost now. So we'll show you guys that just a second though, because we need to find Lernon, the scout who might know where Elani's husband is. Search for Keldrin might yield something this time. You try to find the Ratharnak scout. A half-elf with long braided hair and clad in leather armor with the Ratharnak insignia is sitting outside the compound on a stone bench puffing a clay pipe. Well, if it isn't Lernon, Elani says cheerfully. The scout looks up, and upon recognizing the ranger, a happy smile appears on his tattooed face. He jumps to his feet, and the 2 half-elves exchange a warm, friendly hug. Good to see you, sister, he tells her. Is this her brother? You too, your companion assures him. How have you been? Can't complain, Lernon says. As you can see, I'm still employed by the Ratharnak. Have been for some time. Pays well, and I've got to travel a lot, taking messages, bringing news, scouting out the competition, the usual. Elani introduces you to the scout, and then you sit down. Lernon offers you wine, and you talk well. And you talk. Well, mostly the 2 of them do, while you listen. Elani asks about Keldrin. I haven't heard of him in a while now, the scout replies. The last thing I know about him is that he went to the Dragonlands, but then left a year or so ago. He came back to the Midlands. Since then, it's anyone's guess where he could have gone. And what about you, little sister? This is her brother? I never knew. The 2 exchange news and pleasantries for a few minutes, subtly flirting, with both obviously enjoying each other's company. Excuse me. I hope they're not actually related. Then Elani thanks Lernon and says it is time for her to go. The 2 half-elves embrace again as they part. Give that rascal Keldrin my best wishes, should you find him, the scout says. I hope you 2 reunite soon. Elani nods. Subtly ask Elani to ask Lernon to get in a good word for you with the Ratharnak alliance. Sure. She answers in whispered tones so that Lernon cannot overhear you. I'm sorry, Vagrus, but I do not want to burden this friendship with begging for favors. Also, it's quite inappropriate to bring that up now. You just met him. Good point. You can tell she is slightly offended. Oh, rats. Suddenly you hear a voice. A moment of your time, please. You turn and spot a haggard man. Meanwhile, you realize that Eilani has fallen behind a few steps, momentarily distracted by a local vendor's wares on display. I lost my way, my friend, the man says. Could you help me out by pointing me in the right direction? You are about to reply when you suddenly feel a sharp sting in your lower back. You killed me? Like a pinprick. Once again, you turn but are immediately overcome by vertigo and numbness. I've been poisoned. Within a moment, you are surrounded by a handful of people whose faces you do not see, and you do not even have a chance to as they pull a cloth bag over your head. You try to scream for help, but no sound comes out. Then everything goes dark. When you regain your senses, the sack is gone, but darkness surrounds you nonetheless. You try to move and find you have been fettered to a wall or some kind of rack with leather straps. As your eyes adjust to the gloom, you make out that you are in some sort of cellar or a dungeon, complete with stonework walls, odd tools on a table nearby, and the stench of 10 lavatories. Oh man. A man steps forth from the shadows. You recognize him as the haggard-looking, gaunt fellow who stopped you to ask for directions. His pockmarked face is drawn, and he's wearing leather armor with bone spikes. Awake? Good. Time to answer some questions. He points to a nearby table where various instruments that now you recognize as tools of torture are on display, and you will answer them. You deem it best not to reply, but wait for him to continue until you can gather your wits to assess the situation. You do not have to wait long. I have no idea who you are, but you have been sniffing around lately, looking for that bastard Keldrin. What business do you have with him? Anyone asking questions in this manner must have dubious motives. You decide to withstand the torture for as long as you can. Let's try. We failed! Oh, man! Delighted by your silence, your captor begins his work on your exposed flesh with his knives and pincers. Man, we must have been, like, rolled terribly to fail that. 96 to 95. His starts slow and small, but gradually turns to nastier and nastier methods. He gets to your fingernails. You are already bleeding from several wounds, and you finally give in, screaming for him to stop. He steps back, and you tell him everything about Eilani's search for her husband. Not that there is much to tell. The man seems disappointed, casting a longing glance at his hitherto unused torture instruments. He was beginning to enjoy himself. Well, have you found the bastard? He asks. You tell him you did not, after all. That is the truth. He shakes his head. Nah, too easy. Something tells me you're lying. He hits you several times in the face and you cough up blood. Well, let's see how you handle fire. But before he could do anything, there is a knock on the door. F me, I was just about to get good. The captor curses. I told those sobs not to disturb me while I'm working. Excuse me for a moment. He walks to the door and opens it impatiently. A dead man falls into the room. The torturer stands perplexed and watches as from behind a lifeless body, a familiar shape emerges with a spear in hand. Eilani! The abductor curses again and jumps back, drawing his weapon. The half-elf ranger closes in on him. Unfortunately, you are forced to watch the duel without much chance to intervene. Well, I'm like dying, so... Alright, here we go. I think we should try to stun this fool first. Oops. It worked. Now we will stab him. Oh, for 8. And then again. And then can I stun him again? This poor bastard. Wonderful. Dude, maybe Eilani is our OP one-on-one fighter. As long as she has power, because if she runs out of power, she can't stun people with her hawk anymore. Or if she fights anybody who has resistance to stun. Anyway, finally Eilani managed to force your captor into a corner and disarms him. She stops short of the killing blow. On your knees, she commands and kicks the man's knee so he stoops over with a whimper. Better. Now stay there. With a swift move of her foot, she sends the torturer's weapon gliding across the cellar floor and walks up to you, quickly cutting through your bonds. Yeah, great victory. Oh, wait. Yeah, great victory and all. Your abductor hisses from the corner. But I am only one of many. No matter what you do, my Dominus will have his revenge on that lecher Keldrin. And on you, now that you've intervened. The ranger turns back to him. What the F are you talking about? She asks while you rub your numb wrists and try to stand up. The man sniggers, but then Eilani points her spear at his throat. I said, what the F do you mean? Well, you didn't know? Well, I guess one of that bastard's little squeezes and you don't know. Figures. Elani's spear tip burrows into the man's throat, drawing a few drops of blood. All right, he continues, less cocky now. That charmer Keldrin seduced my master's young daughter. Got a child in her. Oh, the worm. Then he vanished. What a surprise. Understandably, my dominus is eager to settle the score. You are lying, Elani says, eyes full of anger. Oh, am I? The man smiles. Or are you just jealous that bastard didn't knock you up? Gross, dude. You're weird. Or maybe he cannot finish because Elani knocks him out with the butt of her spear. There's a moment of silence. Your companion is visibly confused. I think we should go, she says weakly. We should kill this man. Because he knows the secrets. Anyway, she lost loyalty again, as always. Before you can strike, Elani grabs your wrist, holding you back. Enough, Vagrus, she grunts. This foe's defeated. There's no need to spill more blood. Besides, he was merely a pawn to begin with. Let's just leave, please. It takes a few moments to control your rage. You know Elani would not let you murder the man, so you throw away the dagger. Dang it. The ranger leads you out of the cellar. As it turns out, it is beneath a forsaken, half-collapsed building. You make your way back to where the comitatus is, but as you do so, you can tell that Elani is troubled. You ask her what the matter is. It's the things that Boer said, she replies angrily. There may have been lies to conceal some other agenda, but he must have had a reason for abducting you, and for wanting to find Keldrin so badly. I'm beginning to wonder if my husband is really the person I thought him to be. For see, we had an arrangement to remain free, not to weigh each other down, to indulge in the occasional romance as we see fit, while still remaining loyal to each other. But if what that son of a bitch down in the cellar said is true, Keldrin might have overstepped a few unspoken boundaries, and that's what worries me. She sighs and shakes her head. You know what? On second thought, I don't want to talk about this right now. Let's get you healed, then get on with our usual business, and in time I'll let you know if I want to keep looking for my vagabond of a husband. We return to the comitatus. All right, well, that was exciting. Let's rest. Let's give Elani a trap kit to make her feel better about the bad choices that I made. A survival kit, I should say. We have 5. Here you go. And then, while we're giving people stuff, let's talk to Ren, because we need to push his lifesteal mission further along. Discuss research of life drain. We will give him ancient tablets, because I believe I need arcane texts to upgrade that one guy's crown. Gained loyalty. Have you learned anything? We have not. Nope. Okay. Well, good. Keep on keeping on, Ren. All right. We don't want to send our people out. We don't have enough movement to utilize work. All right. So let's buy the last of the supplies in Salem. Make sure we have enough to start our outpost when we get all the way out here. So now when you want to get out here to start your outpost, I think the easiest way is to come directly from Salem rather than trying to grab a bunch of supplies in Devon and like scramble through the outback or whatever. So yeah, if you want to start your outpost, I would recommend grabbing as much as you can in Torzeg Shelter, coming to the Crimson Gate. The Crimson Gate had like 3,000 supplies, so I just bought as much as I could there, and then made my way up this way, topping off my supplies as I went. I think that's the easiest way to do it, because if you try to go from Devon, they only have like 1,000-ish supplies. Odds are you would run out before you got here in order to set the outpost up. So let's camp one more time. And then the outpost is actually right up here. So you just come up this way. Ta-da! You survey the strip of land you have purchased in the hopes of future profits. This is it, your hard-earned prize, or possibly a money sink that will ruin you. Time will tell. Perhaps it is a good idea to chart the area. The patch of land lies at the edge of the salt flats, barely touching them, yet close enough to make for a fine mining strip. To the south, you glance at seas of white salt. Not a bad place to start a lucrative business. It is time to set up camp. You take a good hard look at the area. Setting up a permanent presence here will be a massive commitment. You have to build defenses, search for supplies, leave some of your crew here to work and protect your interests, leave supplies behind for them, and so on. But it might turn some profit in the long run. At the bare minimum, you need to leave at least 15 fighters, just as many workers, and half as many scouts. Slaves need additional guards too. You will also need some mounts to help with heavy lifting. Then you must pay their upkeep in advance because you will more than likely be away for long periods of time. We will build a permanent camp here. It will take 2 days to do so. Might as well send people out to gather stuff. Something's happening in the background there. It looks like we're doing this again. Good. Whoa! Holy cow! What? I've never seen a hunting critical success. That's a crazy amount of supplies. And 2 chitin for fun. Alright, we've dropped off all of our stuff. After 2 days... Oh, this is a cool view. I bet this changes as you build more stuff here. I hope. Anyway, after 2 days of back-breaking work, the beginnings of the outpost are there. A perimeter fence and some tents, as well as the foundations of buildings and stockpiles for later. Considering all the dangers and hardships of the surrounding wasteland, it is a fair start. For it's still to be there when you come back, you have to leave some forces behind. Scouts, mounts, and either workers or slaves are required for the outpost's upkeep. Slaves need overseers, though, so in case you leave more of them, they will have to be accompanied by additional fighters. Going below the required minimum crew creates significant risks, but so does an overcrowded camp. 2,000 supplies. Always 2,000 supplies needed, and then the bros is required. What do we got here? We don't have enough workers to make this happen. Only slaves means we would have to leave 22 fighters behind, but I think I would prefer that versus a mix of slaves and workers. So let's do this. You also need to provide the outpost with enough supplies and wages for a few months in advance, considering you may or may not return. Stock up your outpost. We've done it. And then, cool. So the outpost is now set up. On the story tab, you can view the general status of your outpost alongside estimations relating to money, reputation gains or losses. These estimations are based on a variety of settings and random factors, so they are bound to change. From here, I wonder where the story tab is. Is that in my journal? We'll check that in a second. From here, you can manage operations pertaining to the outpost and upgrade it if you have what is required. Enduring effects on the outpost from various sources are displayed here, such as insignificant guard force, extended work shifts, inadequate food, slave uprisings. These effects can be either positive or negative, referring to the tooltip for details. The enduring effects. We have a crowded outpost. Is that because I'm here? Normal work shifts. Well nourished. Estimated profit 0. Okay. They got all the supplies. We do want to head on to Devon here so we can drop off this stuff. Optimal working crew is 16 out of 15. We've there. we took one away. That's really interesting that the it's kind of weird that they said you needed to leave X amount of slaves, but our labor workforce is way higher than is required. Consumption is 2,250 per month. Upkeep is 18 gross per month. I wonder if leaving more mounts behind is a good idea. Like 5? We have a crazy amount of horses, actually. What if we do like 25? Or leave 10 horses here? It doesn't change the consumption at all, which is kind of interesting. So the outpost is over capacity. I wonder if you can upgrade the outpost to make it like allowed it to have more people in it without having crowded camps. You can observe and adjust consumption and production on this pane, which are the two main factors affecting profit. For optimal results, you might want to personally transport supplies to the outpost and then sell the produced goods in the most lucrative market. While automating these tasks is possible, it may affect profitability. Due to the high demand for your produced goods, offering them at a discount to various factions could improve your standing with them, even those that are already in the negative tier. So, salt production, we are producing none. How do I make that better? Buy from comitatas traversing nearby. Costs 650 changers per food. What is the cheapest one? This costs us reputation points if we buy them from a specific house. So it makes the most sense to buy them from Vagrus, but it costs the second most versus buying them from Komitata traveling around. We do have plenty of mounts, so we could make this work. I wonder if we can... If we do it from... Who's the house that we have the best relationship with? There's a lot of administration, but I really want to get this set up, like, correctly. Here, let's not change that right now. Our highest relationship is with House Venari right now. How close are you to level 5? You're not quite close-ish. So 900 is the max there. So the way I would love to do this... The way I would love to do this is to set up the salt production to sell to House Venari and then also buy from them to make it cheaper. So I will do Vagrus Work Camp. Or sorry, not the here we go. This one. Buy from Vagrus. It doesn't seem like there's any difference between these two, other than this one you need mounts or a beast of burden. So I think this one makes the most sense, until we can figure out how to actually make salt. So we need 4.3, but we're still making 0 per month. And if we look, based on the number of scouts that they have, it looks like we're making 920 per month from foraging. So we only have a little bit that we need to procure for the settlement. Now, I know there's equipment you can leave here. Like if we leave our cat, doesn't look like the cat does anything. The banner doesn't do anything. The falcons would. So we will add the falcons. Let's look through here. That's for us. Outpost. There you go. I'm not using any of these things, so I might as well just like leave them here. Doesn't look like the orbs help. Skewers? Hey, defense. Sure. Mining equipment. Yeah, let's leave the mining equipment here. Plus workforce. This is really a kind of an interesting part of the game. I haven't had a chance to interact with it at all. Doesn't look like that helps. No? Okay, sure. I don't use the slave cages at all, so we might as well. No navigational equipment. The guard animals I haven't really used, but we could leave them here. The Ascari larva doesn't do anything. We could leave the shriekers. I'm just filling this place with equipment. Okay, cool. I think that's good. Now, if I wanted to upgrade this place, still crowded camps. Maybe if it's gonna be crowded, maybe I should like crowd it anyway. Like overcrowded, does that make sense? Let's leave the rest of our scouts here. I was gonna keep 3 with me. Aha! Now they're making enough foraging to make up for the fact that they don't have or they won't have to buy anything. That's pretty nice. Now, how do I know how much salt they're gonna make per month? It says 0. Oh, here we go. Gathering stuff here adding yields to your salt cache. Sell it to independent comitatai to and from the Vagrus work camp. Carry it to nearby settlements. Will be 50 per salt. If we wanted to sell it to House Venari, you gain 35 and 2 reputation points. So we'd be giving up 15 lurd to gain rep with Venari. The reason I'm very interested in doing this is if we get to tier 5, we no longer have to pay the taxman. I think this is a worthwhile endeavor. So we're still not earning any money, and I still don't know why. Free workforce calculated from your total workforce available minus the workforce covering the needs of your outpost. I wonder, does it say anywhere how much you would need to... Oh, okay. It's going to take them 2 months to find water and supply sources. Okay. Maybe that's why they're not producing any salt right now. So... maybe, do we want to leave them all that? Wow, you know what? Why not? We'll leave all this equipment, and then we'll see how it, like, degrades over time. Oh, cool! The blue stuff doesn't degrade! Yes! The one thing I'm curious about is as the green stuff degrades, so it lasts 360 days plus. As it degrades, could I take it away and then sell it? And then just replace it? I don't know. Okay, cool. Well, I think they're all set up here. Maybe I should leave a beast of burden here too. Because, like, we have plenty of space in our comitatus. We still have spare resources. So, I think, yeah, let's let them set up. Nutrition is fine. Vigor is a little low. Obedience is a little low. Normal work shifts. Yeah, I think this is good. Why don't we leave them a little more funds? Sure. I have plenty of money. Okay, cool. Well, that's how you set up your outpost. Looks like they need 2 months to get set up here. What's the date today? Is that the 27th? It's a little cut off. Month 7, day 27th. So we'll check back at the end of month 9, and we'll see how that goes. I should check on Elani's thing here. Okay, she's got to make up her mind. Okay, cool. Now, I think... so we do have to go to Devon. Tell the man... wait a minute. The comitatus is ready to leave when one of your concerned commies steps closer. Are you sure it is wise to leave them like this, Vagrus? Decide to stay and address the outpost being severely overcrowded. But you told me to leave this many people. Optimal's 12, Optimal's 14? The optimal working crew is 15? What? I don't understand. All right, well, let's take some people so they're no longer overcrowded then. And make sure this stays over the limit. Just barely. Okay, so 9 scouts will keep us there. 2 more fighters. Okay, sure. What if we swap out some of the... well, that's not going to change things. Well, I guess it would, because the reason they wanted so many fighters was because they were, like, worried about slave uprising. So let's do the original idea of 8 and 8. Although the optimal work indicates the optimal number of working crew. The number on the right is the optimal number for salt production. The number on the left is the current working crew. Less than the optimal number results in less salt. More than the optimal number makes it easier to gain the crowded outpost status and receives diminishing returns on salt production. Above, oh, okay, so you can over optimal, but it doesn't produce as much salt as otherwise. I kind of understand. So I think we'll still leave this guy, and then we'll take one of you, and then this should be good, I think. They are consuming a little bit. So what if we swap it like that? Okay, there we go. Now we got one scout with me. All right, they're at 42, 70 defense. Crew is good. All right, I think this is good. Cross your fingers. I think we're doing fine. Survey your outpost. There are a number of things to do here. Provide them with goods and equipment. Oh, you can bring them imbued face masks to protect them. That's interesting. Upgrading and maintaining your defenses. We need 100 bone. Okay, good to know. And then consider upgrading the outpost. The work has just begun, yet it is a sight to behold and to be proud of. Your staff is busy clearing the property as well as beating a path towards the area where salt can be mined in the hopefully not too distant future. Others are scouting the perimeter looking for the best hunting grounds, foraging areas, water sources, and so on. Fences are being erected, trenches dug, and you can see the bases of a watchtower slowly take shape. The goal is for this camp to survive without your constant supervision. It will not be easy, but that is the way of the wastes. Cool. So we have to let them set up for 2 months before we can think about upgrading it. Let's think. We should definitely get them bone, and honestly I should really get them the imbued masks. So let's go back to our comitatus, head out. What do you mean? I thought it wasn't overcrowded anymore. It's 42 out of 42. Excuse me. What do you mean? What if I take another fighter away? Are you fixed now? I wonder if they just have a crowded outpost because... Or maybe is it the work crew, I wonder. Let's take this guy away. No. That's very weird. But maybe it's just because the place isn't built yet, so they're like... They're like, it's crowded because there's nowhere for people to go. That's the only thing I can think of. So let's leave you guys here. Oh, whoops. Why is it taking 2 workers? I would just like to leave 1. Now it's taking 2 at a time. What the heck, game? Here, take all of them and then leave 2 at a time for whatever reason. I don't know. I don't know why it's doing that. You see that? It's taking and leaving 2 at a time. That's very strange. Okay. Well, we tried our best. We will leave. Good luck. All right, we're going to go to Devon real quick here. What's the fastest way to Devon? I feel like it's up and around the Temple of Sleepers rather than the southward way. I'm not sure why. Okay. Rest up. We don't have any movement, so we'll just rest. Oh, what the hell? An outlaw necromancer. Maybe we'll get a bunch of bones from fighting this guy. We need bones for the... We need bones for the fences. Activate. Mount up. We'll kick this dude's butt. Hopefully. There we go. Fight. Round 1. He's got a big old golem made out of bones. This is gonna be a long episode. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Who do we kill? Probably the necromancer. Good shot, Kreefta. Now, gas the front line. I don't know if you can gas the skeleton, but we gassed the dark elves. Let's... Oh, rats. I was gonna say, let's stun this guy. Middleman. Scornar gives Nadir a double move. I hope you guys are excited for the DLC coming out soon. 2 new companions. If you haven't checked out the trailer, you should definitely go check it out. They're familiar faces. I will not say much more beyond that. But it's fun to see more companions in the game. That guy died. Good news for me. I think I should burn the necromancer. I changed my mind. I want to let the ward do its work. Good shot, Garrick. Take down the Bone Lord. Oh, he pummeled me. Oh, he's healing the thing. Well, he's gonna die, like, now, so. And so is he. Yep. Actually, they almost all died. Wonderful. I don't think you can stun a skeleton, but you did do 2 damage. And that's better than nothing. Alright, that was pretty easy combat. Let's see how the overall combat goes. I did kill the necromancer. Critical success, hell yeah. They're retreating. Why don't we pursue? Oh, they got wiped out. You guys didn't know what you were in for. I don't even think we have to give anybody time to heal, because nobody got hurt. 3 bones. Highway robbery. I killed a whole horde of undead. There was a creature made out of bone. And you hit me with this 3 bones reward. I'm pissed. Alright, we'll go up and around. And then wiggle through this way. And then we'll get to Devon. And then I think what we'll do... rough. We lost 2 vigor. I think what we'll do is... Jesus, what are you weirdos doing out here? I think what we'll do is I'll go get the bones and I'll let time pass a little bit, just doing some odd jobs and whatever, and we'll come back and check in on our outpost for the next setup there. I do want to. I think I'll bring us back over at the Crimson Gate or the Mines of Plenty, wherever I can buy dragon bone from, so we can get the stuff for Gorgoro. But for that, for this. I think that sounds like a good plan. So if you guys enjoyed the episode, click the like button, it helps me out a lot. If you want to see more Vagrus the Riven Realms or the other videos I have going on the channel, subscribe to the channel, that also helps me out a lot. But until next time, everybody, I hope you have a good one, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye, everybody!